Genghis Khan is often remembered for conquering nearly 12 million square miles of land, uniting the Mongol tribes and being responsible for millions of deaths. What's often overlooked, though? Well, his beard, because it was just as legendary as his military conquests. So this episode of Beardtory dives into how Genghis Khan's facial hair shaped history, influenced Mongol culture, and became a symbol of absolute power. Imagine standing on the open plains of Mongolia, the wind howling, the distant sound of galloping hooves growing louder. Suddenly a figure emerges. His piercing eyes lock onto his enemies, his iron grip tightens on the reins, and beneath his war helmet, a thick, commanding beard swaying in the wind, a symbol of power, wisdom, and absolute dominance. Today on Beardtory, we uncover the story of the beard that built an empire, the facial hair of Genghis Khan, the man who reshaped history with blood, steel, and a damn fine beard. Before he became Genghis Khan, he was Temujin, born in 1162 in the harsh, unforgiving Mongolian wilderness. Life wasn't easy. His father was poisoned by rival tribes, and his family was left to fend for themselves in the wild. Mongolian culture values strength, resilience, and leadership, and Temujin embodied all of it. He grew into a warrior, strategist, and a diplomat, uniting the scattered Mongolian tribes, the Mongol tribes, under one vision. And with that rise to power came the beard. His beard wasn't just facial hair, it was a symbol of dominance. In Mongol culture, a thick, full beard was a sign of masculinity, wisdom, and power. And for Genghis Khan, it became an extension of his identity as the Great Khan. Let's go ahead and talk about the main event, the Mongol masterpiece of facial hair. While many depictions of Genghis Khan today show him clean-shaven, historical accounts suggest that he grew a thick, strong beard. Not just as a matter of personal style, but because Mongol rulers were expected to wear beards as a sign of their authority. Could you imagine a beardless Mongol leader? Unheard of. In fact, Mongolian men saw beards as a sign of wisdom and strength, and warriors often swore loyalty by stroking their beards in oaths. Genghis Khan's beard wasn't just about appearance. It was a tool of psychological warfare. His enemies saw his imposing figure, wrapped in fur, sitting atop his war horse, beard swaying in the wind, and they knew they were doomed. By the 1220s, Genghis Khan had conquered China, Persia, and most of Central Asia. His army was unstoppable, but even the greatest beards must fall. In 1227, during a campaign against the Western Zhai dynasty, Genghis Khan fell from his horse and suffered severe injuries. Some accounts say he died from his wounds, others claim he was poisoned, and some legends say his enemies tried to cut his beard off, and he died in rage. His body was secretly buried. His final resting place still is unknown. But one thing's for sure, his beard's legend, it lived on. Genghis Khan didn't just build an empire. He built a legacy, and his beard was a symbol of absolute power. If beards were weapons, his would be a war horse, riding straight through history. All right, let's go ahead and rank this beard. Fear factor, 8.3 out of 10. People saw that beard, and they feared it, especially if he was coming through on that horse. Beard swaying in the wind. It's pretty solid. Wisdom points. I mean, the man was a war mastermind, if that's a real thing. Obviously, the ways and the things that he did wasn't really good. It was a different time back then. But wisdom points and the beard, it makes you look smarter. I'm going to go ahead and say an 8.1. Thickness and wildness. The only thing that really gives me a little bit lower rating on this one is the fact that there is some depictions of him without a beard, and boy, does it look weird. So because of that, I'm going to go with a 6.8. Historical impact, again, a little swayed by the kind of more recent pictures of him without a beard. But when you think Genghis Khan, at least me, and I think a lot of people, you still think beard, it's going to be a little bit lower because of the clean-shaven rumors. But for me, it's still going to be a 6.8. And there you have it. There's another episode of Beardtory, where we take beards in history, we combine them together, and we rank them. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw up the updated. I'm not gonna throw up. I'm going to put up on the screen right now the updated rankings. And as you can see here, we got Blackbeard, we have the Mad Monks, Rasputin, and now we have Genghis Khan. Let us know who we should do next, who you would rank 1, 2, and 3. This has been a lot of fun. Can't thank you enough for taking some time to give this a listen or a watch. We'll be back next week with another episode. You want a little bit of a spoiler? We're going to go U.S. President. What's the first one that comes to your brain? Because the same one probably comes to my brain. That's all we got. We'll be back next week. Take care, everybody.